Folks, here's a look at the tail of the tape for our third bout of the evening. 3-year age differential. The Mantis, Jesse Velazquez, 30 years young. Ricardo, Hussein, 33. Big height discrepancy with Velazquez having 5 inches on Hussein. He will also enjoy 5 inches in reach. Both came in at the Combate global 133-pound catch weight limit. To bring in our gladiators, here's Beatrice.
Entrando a la jaula, Jesse Velazquez.
Talk about a superstar in motion. Jesse Velazquez, a guy that brings such a well-rounded style, BJJ-centric, but Alex, he's got a really strong Muay Thai base.
Yes, he does. BJJ black belt, and he's also online known as Super Saiyan because he likes to channel that Dragon Ball Z energy. We were backstage and we talked about which fighters inspired him to get into the mixed martial arts world. He brought up Bob Sapp versus Big Nog. So let's see if we see any power bombs tonight.
Su oponente, Ricardo Hussein.
Ricardo Hussein, the Bulldog from Mexico City, Mexico. A wild child, brings everything into the cage. But boy, tonight La Jaula is going to run red with Hussein.
Hussein is coming in with a creative mindset. I mean, he's a wild fighter that has a lot of weapons, and it was cool seeing. I mean, this guy's got the crazy eyes going. He's jumping around, hitting ab workouts 10 minutes before the fight. This guy's ready to go.
Unlimited cardio. You can see he's got the mullet. Business in front, party in the back. Ricardo Hussein trying to find his 4th professional victory here tonight in La Jaula.
I'm excited for this one.
And just knowing that Hussein fights for a better life, better family, you know you're going to see a lot of passion inside La Jaula coming up.
Continuamos con mucha más acción este duelo. A un peso pactado de 133 libras, we continue with much more action this bout. At a cash weight of 133 pounds, los jueces son, the judges are Arthur Chivichillan, Gokar Chivichillan, and Donald Howard. Presentando la esquina azul in the blue corner, wearing blue, vestido de azul, su peso oficial 133 libras. He tipped the scale at 133 pounds even, con un récord de una victoria y solo una derrota. With a pro record, 1 victory and 1 defeat. From Pasadena, California, Jesse Velazquez. Presentando la esquina roja in the red corner, wearing red, vestido de rojo, su peso oficial 133 libras. He also tipped the scale at 133 pounds, con un récord profesional de 3 victorias y una derrota. With a pro record of 3 victories and 1 defeat. De sangre mexicana, Mexico City, Mexico, Ricardo Hussein. The referee, Jonathan Romero.
Jonathan Romero, third man inside for this 133-pound catch weight bout. 3 5-minute rounds between the Mantis, Jesse Velazquez, and Ricardo Hussein. Hussein in the red trunks, Velazquez in the blue.
Round 1, ready? Ready? Fight!
Round 1 underway. You know, Velazquez talked about stopping Ricardo Hussein in the build-up to this one, but getting that done is a ridiculously difficult task if you saw Hussein's last bout against Axel Osuna.
Yeah, and I love the way Velazquez put it when we asked him to describe his opponent's style. He just says, he's a tough Mexican. Well-rounded, not exactly a specialist, but being a tough Mexican, I know I have my work cut out for tonight.
And that fighting spirit, right, is so world-renowned. Brandon Moreno, of course, a representative from Mexico who embodies that on the biggest of stages. But beating that Mexican spirit, Jane, that's a tough challenge.
It is a tough challenge, but Jesse Velazquez is looking to grit his teeth and get through it. There he is right there, almost finishing a takedown.
Hussein
on his back,
keeping that forearm on Jesse Velazquez's throat. Minute gone by here, Ricardo Hussein stacking the guard, offering up some ground and pound on the Mantis.
Velazquez is going to want to pull him in, hide his head, not get hit with those crazy shots.
Yeah, now we see the jiu-jitsu black belt looking to isolate.
I think he's chasing a triangle right now.
A lot of time on the clock. Ricardo Hussein, coached by Diego Lopez and Alessandro Costa, so is quite wary of all these positions on the ground and knows exactly what to do.
It's like Hussein, the striker, is chasing a ghillie right now. A standing ghillie. He's
Velazquez trying to fight the hands here. Pops the guard. Hussein plants him on the cage. Offers up a big elbow.
I think it would serve Velazquez well to stay at that range. It was working, the long-range punches and staying away, but I know he likes that BJJ.
Yeah, he is an IBJJF Nogi champ at the blue belt level. He is now a black belt and training out of MMA Fitness and Fight Academy for his striking, but I agree with you, Jaden. It was a lot of fun with that when they were on the feet.
Yeah.
There's an intangible that Ricardo Hussein brings, which is his thirst for blood, right? He told us in the build-up that my X factor is how I'm always searching for the finish. That's a killer when the cages are closed, Jaden.
At the end of the day, it's a good strategy. You know, you want to hurt your opponent. Inability, like, don't let him be able to even hit you back.
Velazquez once again throwing up that triangle effort. Maybe more to just control posture, Alex.
Yeah, and not get grounded and pounded to the face. Hussein has been coming in hot.
A dominant first 2.5 minutes for Ricardo Hussein. Both fighters Combate Global debuts. Ooh.
He's locking in a little more right now. Hussein's gonna want to roll through that. Roll through.
But will he roll through? He's doing a good job controlling the hips.
You don't see omoplatas get hit very frequently, Alex.
Yes, especially after they're slippery, but in the first round, the likelihood is much higher than later on.
To finish this omoplata, Velazquez is going to need to put some more pressure on that shoulder and get his hips out just like that. It's tight. It's tight.
Will the Mantis hit an omoplata in round number 1? That becomes the question. Lodge working on the elbow. Hussein pops it out.
Wow. That shoulder mobility, it just saved him, and now Velazquez quickly to the back.
He's not out of danger. 1:30 on the clock. Hussein tries to spin in. Big reversal for Ricardo Hussein, Jason.
Just like that, a great scramble right into dropping elbows.
Directly on our Foos Gone Wild canvas sponsorship. Once again, mark those calendars, April 25th. And that's the type of durability that Ricardo Hussein promised he would bring into Combate Global. If you want to stop Hussein, you might need a 50 caliber.
Ooh, it looked like he was fishing for that knee bar just then. He's sneaky with some of these entries, but now into the guard of Hussein. Beautiful action from these fighters.
Elbows to the midsection from the Mantis. He's been training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu since 2009. So nearly 16, 17 years now of BJJ.
He's in half guard right now. He's going to need to get that leg through and try to get into a mounted position.
30 seconds to go. This has had more momentum swings than a grandfather clock.
Hussein doing a good job of controlling those arms, making sure it doesn't take too much damage while he's down there.
Hussein, some up kicks offered to the Mantis. Velazquez expertly avoiding them and getting to the back once again on Ricardo.
Some great submission looks and attempts from Velazquez, but we're gonna go into the second round.
High pace to kick things off between our two catchweight combatants. Jesse Velazquez, Ricardo Hussein extend to the second frame, and that's a tricky one to score in some senses, Jaden, right? Because it seemed like the significant damage was all with Ricardo Hussein, but in terms of dominance, right, and positional control, Jesse Velazquez found that back quite frequently.
Yeah, I would say Velazquez got the points there on the control factor of this first round, but Hussein did a good job of every single time he ended up on top. He dropped a couple elbows, dropped some ground and pound, and was able to do a little bit of damage to Velazquez.
Jesse Velazquez showing some real BJJ intuition going for the omoplata. You mentioned the knee bar. Alex, talk to me about this guy's grappling.
Yeah, it has been beautiful to watch. I know the squad that they have at Team Oyama is really, really top tier, and you're just getting so many different looks, so many different body types, and that's why I love SoCal MMA in general. I feel like they put on the best shows, and I feel like the energy with the audience right now is really appreciating that.
Round 2, ready?
I think to start this second round, Jesse should, like I said earlier, stay at that range. He's got those long arms. It's going to be hard for Hussein to find himself inside.
And you can hear Jesse Velazquez's corner yelling to him that that was Hussein's best round. They believe that the cardio is not going to be with Ricardo Hussein in his second frame.
Oh, nice knee.
That was a strong knee.
Ricardo Hussein bullying Velazquez in the early frame. Excellent move from the Mantis to plant Hussein on the canvas.
What a way to reverse the knee coming at him, because at first it looked like Hussein was getting the most of reversing positions, but man, BJJ black belt really making use of it, and now tying up the legs and putting the pressure on.
4:15 left in this second round. A lot of time on the clock for the Mantis to work. Jaden, we see this grappling position so frequently, tying up the legs, isolating that lower body. If you're Ricardo Hussein, what do you need to watch out for?
Dagestani leg tie. It's hard to get out of. I mean, he doesn't want to let Velazquez posture his head up and get it under the chin. But he did a good job standing up like he just did right now. He's going to want to get his hips away so he can work on the leverage to break that grip.
Hussein, like a great white shark caught in a cage, is just going to thrash his way until he's free.
And this bout is a 133 catch weight. Usually Velazquez is at flyweight, and that's just amazing to me because he's 5'9". Like, he's a big guy, so he's really able to get the most out of these positions.
I'm 5'9", and I wish I was 133, Jane, I'll tell you what.
Maybe someday. Maybe someday, man.
Velazquez goes a little high, falls forward. Ricardo Hussein trying to maximize and capitalize. But Jane, it might be wary of him to separate as he leaps into full mount.
Hussein's going to start raining down with that ground and pound. It'll serve Velazquez well to try to get a hold of him and hold him close so he can't posture up and rain those heavy shots down.
And to me, it was unclear if he conceded being on his back because he's so confident in his jiu-jitsu, or if he's a little bit more on the tired side. But we'll see what he's able to do with this half guard. I feel like he's had so much success in his entries in the first round that maybe he's like, hey, let me play possum and get him into the guard.
He's kind of been bending the rules a little bit, pushing the envelope, the wild card from Mexico. At the very least, fulfilling that promise for violence that he told us he'd bring.
Being a jiu-jitsu practitioner against an explosive, crazy striker is a little dangerous sometimes. If you can't always be that comfortable on your back. I think he's going to want to get his back to the cage and try to stand himself up.
2:15 on the clock. Velazquez again trying to go for that left leg of Ricardo Hussein.
Looks like he's chasing another triangle right now. He doesn't quite have the angle there. He's going to want to pinch those legs and see if he can break Hussein's posture.
Couple elbows to the orbital from Velazquez on bottom, continually redoing the grip over and over.
People think it's about grabbing the head. It's not so much. You really just want to pinch those knees together to close the distance between the shoulder and the head. And then right there, you get the angle and you can slide those legs into place. But good on Hussein getting out of that attack.
Hussein, again trained by Diego Lopez and Alessandro Costa. If you're going to submit him, it's going to take an otherworldly grappling effort, Alex.
Yes, or to tire out your opponent so much that you're able to get to dominant positions like this, like isolating the arm into a head and arm choke, but the fence a little bit in the way.
You could see a grimace on Jesse Velazquez's expression. Ricardo Hussein flipping the tables over.
He threw his thumb up. He says he's good. Hussein's going to want to get him a little bit farther away from the cage and put his hips down and try to really put some leverage on that neck.
Final minute of round number 2. Velazquez biding his time on bottom. Hussein torquing, adding some squeeze onto this.
He needs to get his hips lower. Yeah. He's not going to be able to finish it if he doesn't get the right angle here.
He needs the pressure on both carotid arteries, so he is going to have to sink down, really put the pressure in that way, but he might be able to do it now.
Looks like he's just trying to do it with straight brute strength.
Yeah, it's like almost more of a crank at that point.
Which makes sense for Ricardo Hussein, that instead of the technical way of getting it done, he says, no, I'm just going to muscle my way through.
Wouldn't expect anything less.
30 seconds to go. Velazquez patient on bottom here. At the very least, it's uncomfortable, right? It's a position he doesn't love being in.
As much as he did it, like he wasn't able to finish that submission, he still established control time and was chasing a submission.
Another submission could be loaded. This one might be tighter. Ricardo Hussein.
He's got 3 with about 5 5 seconds left to go.
And I think it'd be safe to say his arms are a little burnt out from that first submission attempt.
And Jesse Velazquez, God, that guy's Gumby, built like rubber to withstand all of these offerings on the canvas and remain undeterred. But to that point, right, Ricardo Hussein put so much effort into that final minute of round 2. In these last 5 minutes, Jade, what do you think the gas reserves look like for him?
I can say one thing. I know his arms are definitely going to be heavy, so it's going to take a lot of mental toughness out of Hussein to really keep those arms going, keep his hands up, and be able to fire those deadly shots that he's been throwing this entire time.
And for Jesse Velazquez, right, he put himself through so much of this adversity, but in this third and final round, Alex, do you think that the Mantis is just loading and waiting for his moment to strike?
I think he's just going to need that pep talk from his corner right now. It's almost similar to what we saw with Songer. She was dominating in the grappling game, but when it came to taking that one strong hit, it kind of took her out of her focus. So we're going to get them refocusing now. We heard them just scream inside La Jaula, ready to go.
I don't know which one it was, but I think it's safe to say it was probably Hussein.
I think that's a good accurate guess.
Third and final round between the Mantis, Jesse Velazquez, and Ricardo Hussein underway. Southpaw on orthodox start here. Open stance offerings for all, and Hussein doesn't seem to be entirely labored right yet, Jaden.
No, not too bad. I really want to see Velazquez use his range right now. Everything's landing. The jab, too, we forget about it because of all the grappling exchanges like this.
Big
but he's successful. He's successful on the feet.
Great sprawl from Hussein. And way to pivot and turn at that last second, Alex.
Yes, and working his way to the back now. Both hooks in, but he is trying to keep that chest down, but instead will take some ground and pound action.
Those elbows quite central, Jade. A very interesting placement from Ricardo Hussein. Velasquez trying to grapple his way up, eat some shots as he brings himself upwards once again on bottom, 4 to go.
That says so much about Hussein that instead of working that front headlock game, he preferred to stand back up, but now we're just back into the guard of Velasquez.
Ricardo Hussein's a wild man, right? That much can be said. And the appetite for destruction in all stanzas of this fight is what's impressing me and Jaden. I think it's giving Jesse Velasquez some issues, right? He can't really get much going against this unpredictable beast in front of him.
Yeah, no, the creativity and the unorthodox movement coming from Hussein is, I think, definitely it's giving Jesse a little bit of trouble right now. And as much as being a jiu-jitsu practitioner and so comfortable on the ground, on your back, you are giving up a lot of control time being in this position. But right here, he's chasing another submission right now. Not demoralized. He's going for it again. Let's see if he can get the triangle this time. Pinch those knees, man.
And it kind of just goes back to what Jaden said in the first round of wanting to see Velasquez do more on the feet, because when you have a guy like Hussein that is pretty loco, you got to imagine even if you do get a submission attempt like an armbar, he's still the guy to probably let it pop a few times and work his way out because he's literally so crazy fighting for his family, friends. So, you know, it would probably be in the best interest for Velasquez to get back to the feet, but, you know, he's the one in there, not us. Maybe he feels like his advantage is to find a submission over here.
Yeah, I think you'd have to rip his arm off. That's what I thought. I think you'd have to separate a limb. And even at that point, it might not be enough to stop Ricardo Hussein, because he'd say, hey, look, I got another arm.
He'll definitely keep trying to fight. You got to take that guy's heart to get him out of the cage.
2:20 left on the clock. The Mantis, Jesse Velasquez, just does not seem to have a deep enough bag of tricks, right? Continually going back to the well on that triangle effort, which Ricardo Hussein, he's passed that test every single time, Alex.
Yeah, and there's so many people at home that might be saying stuff like, oh, just stand up, or why haven't they been having anything? If you've actually been in there and you know how tired you are, I can see why they're staying on their back. But Jaden, what is your take? If you were on top right now, what would you be doing there?
If I'm on top, I'm Ricardo Hussein right now, I would just maintain that control. At the end of the day, it's a 2-round fight. They're both tired. It's going to be hard for either of them to chase a finish.
Looks like an accidental headbutt was seen. Some referee intervention, giving Jesse Velasquez time to breathe. We'll get a closer look at his cranium. Looked like there was possibly a laceration.
Yeah,
Seems
definitely caused a cut.
Seems like they're resuming in the same position right now, which
For Jesse Velazquez, probably thinking, oh, darn.
yeah, gosh, hoping they would stand each other up. But Hussein back in that controlled position. I think if he just rides this out, stays there, drops a little bomb here and there, connects with an elbow or a punch every once in a while, I think he can run away with this one here.
We got some blood from the forehead of Velazquez that's going to be going very matching with the blood of the Foo's Gone Wild background. That might be just paint, but in Lahawa, it symbolizes blood.
Hussein dropping down some crazy shots right now. Velazquez is really trying to control that arm.
The motor just simply did not give out for Ricardo Hussein, right? That gas tank was quite deep, and I think Jesse Velazquez expected Hussein to fade, but the guy's only gotten stronger as this one's prolonged.
I mean, after squeezing a choke that hard for that long, I mean, any normal person would have their arms burnt out. But this guy,
He's not normal.
he's not normal.
20 seconds to go. Ricardo Hussein cruising his way through in his Combate Global debut, in all likelihood sealing the deal on his 4th pro victory.
Oh, wow, that was a good shot.
Didn't get the finish maybe like he'd expected, but a very good, well-rounded effort as he brings the Mantis up for the final moments of the 3rd round.
I think the Mantis has to chase a finish here. He's going to want to blitz and see if he can land a big shot to put Hussein out.
He's going to have to point to the floor and just say, start throwing bombs.
He's got the same build as Max Holloway.
Look, guys, I'll tell you, I don't want to see any fighters do the point to the ground except for Max Holloway. No, Max, do not do it.
Fair enough.
Final 10 seconds here. Jesse Velazquez doing very little with that final frame on the feet. You can see Ricardo Hussein celebrating. What a great effort from him tonight in his Combate Global debut.
After 3 rounds of action, we go with the judges' scorecards. Después de 3 vueltas de mucha más acción, nos vamos a la tarjeta de los jueces. All 3 judges turn in identical scorecards of 30 to 27. Los 3 jueces entregan tarjetas idénticas de 30 a 27. All in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. Todos a favor del ganador por decisión unánime. Ricardo Hussein.
Team Mexico gets another on the board as Ricardo Hussein finds the unanimous decision over the Mantis, Jesse Velazquez. It was just nonstop effort, chipping away at the reserves of Jesse Velazquez and some real intuition defensive grappling that led to that victory, Jaden.
I mean, I know it's clear that they were not lying about that Mexican toughness. The last 2 fights, really just both of them having to grit their teeth and ride out the rest of the rounds, and they did just that. And Hussein put on a great show, kept it exciting even when he was in those grappling exchanges, and it's cool to see him finish with this win.
The wild child just non-stop like a locomotive, Alex Wendling. He would not be denied in his Combate Global debut.
Yes, there were so many moments where he would just use the momentum to his advantage, stay calm in moments like these when he had Velazquez's dangerous black belt on his back, but he made the most of it, and that was one of the most beautiful moments from Velazquez as well. But when it came to that half guard position, it just wasn't, there wasn't anything cooking there.
And I gotta say, credit to Jesse Velazquez for finding himself in positions like that rear naked choke and staying tough, staying durable, and trying to find ways to win, Jaden. That is the heart of a fighter that you cannot question.